écoutez. Il y a un pays dans Polier, j'entends petit chanter.
Jacadee is a great lesson idea because it turns the whole concept into learning instructions into a game, and the children just love it. We're going to start this morning playing as Simon Says. Okay, we're going to start playing as Jacadee.
Jacadee, écoutez.
Jacadee is just the French version of Simon Says. So when I say Jacadee and I say the word, you do the action. But what if I don't say Jacadee?
You don't do it.
The French assistant tells children when they're out.
Perdu.
You get all the oohs and the ahs because they've lost, and it turns into a bit of competition as well.
Game's actually fun.
And very educational because you can learn new French words that you don't already know.
If marcher vite is walk quick, marcher lentement.
Walk slow.
Walk slowly, it's a slow motion. Definitely been built up over time. To begin with, the children just learnt the instructions regardez, écoutez and sit down, stand up. And once they kind of got the hang of that, we just threw some more words into there to kind of make it a little bit harder.
Marcher means walk.
Jacadee.
Correr when you run. Jacadee.
Sauter means jump.
And tracer les voies. Jacadee.
Marcher vite when you walk fast.
I cannot say for the life of me how many times I try to say it, tiptoe in French.
Marcher sur la pointe des pieds.
Means tiptoe.
To overcome my pronunciation issues, I do rely quite a lot on our French assistant to help me. You're out, and Mademoiselle will say...
Perdu.
French is very difficult because we have so many letters that we don't pronounce. But once they've learned it the right way, they won't forget about it.
Jacadee, écoutez, regardez. I do feel like that, like Del Boy sometimes, are doing the Dagenham version of French. Jacadee, sauter.
I would usually help with the pronunciation and with the grammar rules and the things which are hard to get in French.
The children love it, they really do. It's a competition more than anything else as well, and they tell one another when they've got it wrong because I can't always see all 25 doing the actions.
I think it will be better to stand up and do it because you can use up some of your energy instead of just sitting there writing things.
I like learning French because it's good and you get to know other language, not just English.
Say you went to France and you always speak English, they won't understand you and you won't understand them.
Jacadee, écoutez. I got a winner!
Au revoir.
EAUMP is a great lesson idea for sentence construction. It gets the children up, dancing, singing, making fools of themselves, and it brings home sentence construction in French. Bonjour.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Révision. EAUMP. Levez-vous. We then sang through the song EAUMP, which is repeated and repeated and repeated. Gets quicker and quicker.
Y'a papillon paillé, chante-lui qui chante. Y'a papillon paillé, chante-lui chante. Chantant, chantant, chante-lui qui chante. Chantant, chantant, chante-lui chante.
It's about a magpie in a pear tree singing.
Y'a papillon paillé, chante-lui chante.
The first line of the song we have been learning is Y'a un pied dans Polier. It means a magpie in a pear tree.
Il y a un pays dans Polier, j'entends petit chanter.
Y'a papillon paillé, chante-lui chante.
The children really love it. They enjoy the actions, the singing, the dancing, and the actual construction of the song and the repetition then brings you on to recognising the nouns and the verbs in the adverb of place. The children can identify them. They can see how in French sometimes the construction of sentences is different to ours. Très bien. Merci. We revise the adverbs, nouns and verbs. Dans ma chambre, il y a une vache qui sortait. Pardon, qui saute. We're a bit of a double act. I tend to lead the lesson and then Junio will actually pull me up on my pronunciation, or if it should be a masculine noun instead of a feminine noun. And she helps the children. If they're unsure, I'm unsure, I feel confident enough to be able to ask her how to pronounce something. Un chat, pardon.
When you try to learn French on your own with books, you usually read French the English way. So obviously your pronunciation is really, really wrong and you can't sometimes get understood. But the thing is that when we teach something together, maybe if I say it first, they won't pronounce the D or the T at the end of the word. And that way they would get understood.
Une chèvre.
Une chèvre.
Une chèvre.
Un chat.
Un chat.
Un lapin.
Un lapin.
But there's magpie.
So the Ilia, which is this one, came from a training course.
That's caterpillar.
Dormasac.
Up in the pear tree. And
Oh yeah, un chat.
there's bunny rabbit.
Got the elephants, got that one. And I can't believe I'm doing this. Une chenille.
Une chenille.
But the rest of the children have done all the animals and the verbs, and it's just been good fun.
Yeah, I do like them because it's fun and at the same time I'm still learning, so. And that'll help me remember because I'm still having fun.
Yeah, it helps me a lot to remember the words because I get all confused in my actions. I'm watching other people and I learn.
Well, in the French sentence, you have to have the place, then we had the animal, and then after that, we just had something that I was doing.
Dans la rue, je vois un lapin qui se cache.
Très bien. Chose children to come up and select a flashcard to hold it up, and another child had to read out what was on the flashcard, adding their own il y a or je vois or j'entends in between. Opiomi, choisis un verbe, s'il te plaît. Roxy, dis la phrase, s'il te plaît.
Dans les forêts, il y a un chat qui vole.
Très bien. It makes a lesson fun. They like the fact that they don't actually do a lot of writing, and it's all about performing, and it's their pronunciation and the basics of learning French.
Chez moi, je vois un canard qui saute.
Très bien.
In English, that means in my house, there is a duck jumping.
Un Jean qui danse.
They enjoy it. It's different to any other lesson. We move around a bit and do drama and some English, but that's really the only subjects that the children come to the front and act out and make fools of themselves and laugh.
Au revoir.
The French Cafe is a great lesson idea for French pronunciation and conversation. We're going to be having a bit of a go at acting today. We've got a little French cafe set up at the back. You're going to be using your whiteboards with some phrases that we've been looking at for use in the French cafe.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Mary.
What I'll do is I have a group from each table, I think. We introduced how to say I would like, introduced the idea of a waiter.
Bonsoir, bonsoir, bonsoir.
Gave them basic food menu. They then had to write down their choices, and then we picked group by group to go and act it out at a French restaurant.
Bonjour, mademoiselle, monsieur. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Pain au chocolat.
Je voudrais des croissants et un d'orange. Merci.
Je voudrais un pain au chocolat et limonade. Merci. Merci. That was really fun. It was like I was in a restaurant. I got this, I think it was pain au chocolat et limonade. I think that's what it was, which is this chocolate thingy with lemonade.
It was quite fun because everyone got to come up and order their own thing, and the waiters, well, they were quite funny. Cola was the funniest of them all.
Bonsoir, bonsoir, bonsoir. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez?
Je voudrais un croissant et un chocolat chaud, s'il vous plaît.
I think the role play works because it gives them some understanding of what they're doing or some reason for why they're doing it. They are acting out. They love acting. They love drama.
Merci. Je voudrais un limonade, un croissant, s'il vous plaît. Merci.
The key principle is really the pronunciation, which we will work on because it wasn't perfect for all children, and I wouldn't expect it to be.
Je voudrais une limonade, un croissant, s'il vous plaît.
But I'm trying to get their confidence Once they've got the confidence, I think you can work more on the pronunciation.
Merci. I am enjoying it. People say it's hard, but I don't think it's as hard as they say. I think it's medium.
Bonjour, Madame Sobre.
When we go to the French country, I'll be able to talk better and I should be able to retaliate what they're saying.
I actually feel quite proud when I see them acting it out. And it's nice to see children actually achieve something, and it's nice to see in their faces that they're proud too.
Au revoir.
The French dance is a simple way to introduce another aspect of French culture. But we're going to go through the French dance that we've looked at. So we've got 3 different tempos or speeds of dance to contend with.
It felt quite thrilling at first.
1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Galop. The instructions in French were the basic counting, and they understand because I'm only using simple words, and they understand polka and galop. Polka. The French dance helps them understand a little bit more about French life, but they enjoy it, and it's like a PE lesson as well, and I don't think they really think they're doing French.
Well, you have to be like steady, so like you know the beat, and you have to remember the moves, and I quite liked it. It was really fun.
1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1.
My partner's Kane. What was good about dancing with him was that, well, he wasn't the worst person to dance with, like other people in my class, but he was okay, not too bad at dancing.
Once they got past actually holding on to each other, and I'd never known partners so far apart at the beginning, it's good fun.
With like French dancing, it looks as if it all goes in a pattern, so it goes stomp, 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 and then gallop 6 times. And then you just like do the polka twice and then back, so you have to have a stable rhythm with your partner in order to do it.
I've come from last learning French when I was 16, which is quite a few years ago. When I was told I had to start teaching French again 3 years ago, panic, not sure what I was doing, didn't like the fact I'd be standing in front of a class teaching something I didn't understand. And it's literally been going on training courses, working with a French language assistant, and learning with the children. I feel much more confident. I've got an awful lot to learn, and it's still very basic and patchy, but I'm getting there.
Au revoir.